Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Beyond.a.ball podcast. It's your host, Ian. Joining me, as always, is Justin and Justin. No Santiago again. Santiago is still he is in Phoenix for work. So it is just Justin and I holding it down. Second episode of the week. Must be important.
Yeah, I feel like we had to. We feel like we take off for 3 weeks and do an episode and take off another 3 weeks. So 2 episodes in a week. I think this is actually what, 2 episodes in 3 days?
2 episodes in 3 days. Yeah, we
Yeah,
recorded Tuesday, was able to get it out Tuesday night, and yeah, banging out a Thursday one. So Tuesday we focused on the Premier League, and today it's going to be just all conversation around the Champions League. This week we obviously had not round of 16, we had the knockout playoffs, the second round of those matches. The first round occurred a few weeks ago, so we're going to go over this week's knockout round matches, and then we're going to dive into the round of 16. Now, the draw isn't until tomorrow. However, we're going to take a look at some of the possible matchups. Most of these matchups, or all of these matchups rather, it's either one team or the other. So we're going to go into those, kind of go over each possible match
yeah.
scenario that could happen, and then wrap up from there. But Justin, anything you want to cover off on before we hop in?
No, I think that's about everything. I think we had a very exciting week of Champions League. A lot of high
Oh yeah.
scoring games, a lot of late drama. So let's get into the good stuff.
Oh yeah, it was a great matchup, great week of Champions League matches, however,
Yes.
rather. And let's start. Yeah, Tuesday, first match of the day was Atletico Madrid 4, Club Brugge 1. Atletico Madrid will progress on aggregate. The total score there was 7-4 in their matchup. And really, it was just a very commanding match for Atletico, highlighted by a hat trick for Sorloth. And
Hmm.
then Johnny Cardoso, U.S. own, did score a goal as well. But really, Atletico Madrid they didn't look great after that first round, right? I think it was 3-3. It was
Yes,
actually,
was
yeah, it was
3-3. Yeah.
3-3 after the first round, and at least I was like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah.
Right? I think me and I've actually been calling for Simeone's head for a while now, just because I think Madrid's just in stall mode.
Hmm.
But I thought for sure if they dropped to Bruges on Tuesday that he would be out. But hey, they whooped their ass at home. I mean, there's nothing else to say about it. I mean, they beat them up pretty good.
No, yeah, I think again when you have that other game that you get to play, Atletico Madrid was home for that last game, if I'm recalling that correct. Let me just double check. Yeah, Atletico was home, going into Spain, trying to play against them. You never know where you're gonna get, and obviously it's a big advantage for them. And like you say, Sorloth had a very good game, a nice hat trick. Uh, but nothing here surprising in my opinion. I did think Club Brugge could have pulled it out, but I think again Atletico at home with those fans, I think it was just
Yeah.
a little bit too much for them.
I agree. I agree. And I think Atletico, let's be honest, they should have beaten them in advance.
Yes, yes.
Right? Like the spend is the fact
They,
that it was 3-3 after the first leg was ridiculous.
exactly.
So, Atletico flexing their muscles there. They'll
Yeah,
advance. Let's not, oh, go ahead.
and Oblak with an assist with the first. I don't know if you saw that. He had an assist on the first goal.
I didn't really watch this match, to be honest with you. I was just kind of checking in periodically.
Fair,
Tuesday was a
yeah.
bit of a busy day at work for me, believe it or not. The days don't get
Look at
too
you.
busy.
You're usually the
I
one all
know.
over
I
this. The group
know.
chat was quiet.
I
There
know.
was nothing.
I know. I also didn't have any wagers in, and
Mm,
I've been cold as ice. So,
nice.
yeah. All right. Enough of Atletico. Moving right along. Leverkusen nil, Olympiacos nil. Mm.
Yeah, this is
Leverkusen's going to advance on aggregate. Bit of a snooze fest. Leverkusen took care of a team that they should have taken care of, but I mean, we'll talk about it later, but I think this is the end of the line for Leverkusen right here.
yeah, I really don't again, don't really have much on this game. Obviously, Leverkusen took care of business in the first leg. They did control a majority of this game. Uh, could have scored a couple of goals, but besides that, there really wasn't any key moments of this game or really anything to take out of it. I guess you can just say Leverkusen just keeping that lead and being strong, not conceding through both legs, which obviously says a little bit something about their defense going forward. But like you said, when we do talk to them into the round of 16 with all these teams that are going to be in that,
Round of 16 is juicy.
yeah, it's they're going to be one of the
Yeah.
weaker teams left,
Oh yeah.
unfortunately.
Now, and this is something I'll never understand, probably because I never played soccer. But like, if you're Olympiacos, I'm like, how is the only yellow card that you committed in that entire fucking match in the third minute of extra time after 90 minutes? Well, how are you not just slide tackling into everyone trying to win the
It,
fucking
it,
ball? You're down 2-0. You need to win. I don't get this shit. The game's gone. Game's gone. Give me more studs up tackles. Give me guys throwing their body on the line. That was, and you know what this comes from because we're going to talk about him a little bit. When Karabag was down like 5-1, I had both teams a bet to score to have a yellow card in the match. Karabakh had no yellow cards. They gave up six fucking goals. Show some heart. You were at home. Not one late tackle. Just game's gone. Game's gone.
yeah, I get what you're saying, but it's not always like that. Because
Oh,
then you
it always
because then
should be like
because,
that, mate. It's game's gone. I don't know what to tell you.
because if it is close, like you said, Olympiacos is down 2 goals. You're down late. You get a yellow. You're wasting a minute of your time to get back into the game, even though there's not much time left. It's also I don't want to say sportsmanship thing because obviously playing like high school and club soccer is completely different from professional soccer. But you're not gonna go out there and like you said, I'm take out their legs, get
I'm going first
cleats
minute.
up to
I'm
the
going
knees.
first minute. I'm going in. I'm good. We're going in over the ball. I'm going in first minute. And
Yeah, and guess what? With today's world, with VAR, you'd be send off in 1 minute.
it's true. It's true if you go over the ball.
your team would be parking the bus for the rest of the game, and then you'd
Yeah, I
be
guess there's no
probably jumped in
real.
the locker room.
Yeah, I guess there's no real. Hey, I just want to commit a yellow here because VAR can come into play and they'll be like, oh wow, this, that, and the
Yeah,
other. Yeah, whatever.
I do what you're saying though. I do get it a little bit.
You
Not
get what I'm
totally
saying.
disagreeing with you.
You get what I'm saying. A little rough and tough.
I used to when I
Um,
played.
yeah, I did. I remember seeing you play against Scranton. You got heckled. Yeah, you did. Moving along, we had Inter versus Bodo Glimt. How about this? Inter
Upset.
at home, one. Bodo Glimt on the road, two. Aggregate Inter two, Bodo Glimt five. I am not shocked. Because I think Inter Milan is, I said this earlier on in the year, way earlier. I want to say back like in the fall to Santiago, that Inter Milan was aging and that I thought they were in trouble early. And it showed. It's an aging team and they got beat on the counter. They dominated in
Yeah.
every aspect of the game. They had more ball possession, way more shots on target. But Bodo Glimt just digging deep, finding that extra little something.
No, yeah. Obviously 2-1. We had goals in the 58th minute by Jens Petter Hughe, and in the 72nd minute, Hukan Ivajan. And then obviously Inter scored in the 76th minute with Alessandro Bastani. But like you said, Ian, key moments. Bodo Glimt played very good at counter-attacking football. They knew what they came in. They had a very good tactic coming in. Uh, paid off early, sat back and defended and played, like you said, counter-attack football. The interesting thing about me was I didn't like Inter's style of play.
I
I
never
don't
like Inter style of
did you
play.
get to watch the game at all or no? Or was that was a
I
Tuesday? So you
can't
didn't get that.
watch, honestly,
Sorry.
I won't, I have a tough time watching Serie A teams because they're incredibly boring. And I
No.
think Inter Milan is very boring. I think
Yeah.
Inter Milan matches are boring. I think Serie A matches are boring. So no,
Yeah.
I
So
didn't watch this one.
yeah. So I was able to watch majority of the game, and Inter did dominate in the beginning, but their style was get the ball, get into the wide areas, and just cross the ball in, and hopefully someone gets to it. And like
Mm,
after the first 45 minutes, it just was not working.
right.
It was the same thing over and over and over again, and it was just like, oh, header wide or a deflection, and it goes out of the box and for a clearance. It's like they didn't switch up their play, which I think did hurt them
Mm.
in this game. But yeah, definitely something disappointing for Inter were in the finals last year for the Champions League.
Yeah, but they've been in the finals the last few years. I don't think they've never really been a tough team though.
Yeah, they were
I
missing
don't
what's his
know.
name? It was the strikers, Martinez. I forget his first name.
La Toro.
Yeah, Latoro. That was obviously a big miss for them because he picked up an injury last time they put in the Champions League.
Did
But
you look at the size of the players from Bodo Glimt?
yeah,
So the smallest player in their entire starting 11 was 5'6", their right back. Other than him, everyone else was 5'10" and over.
yeah, it's you don't see that much.
No, so that's a larger team. So
Yeah,
that game plan of putting the ball into the box, when you got a few
yeah.
guys that are 6 foot tall back there, just kind of clearing it away.
I don't know what they're feeding those Norwegians.
Well, that's the other. So I don't know if did you see the tweet? And I think it was aged from 2025 over the summer that apparently somebody was watching them play and they called it like months and months in advance that this team looked really good and that they're
Good.
going to give other teams a run for the Champions League. That they're going to be
Oh,
beating big guys. I don't know if you saw that. I think it was
I
like
didn't see it now.
August or July 2025. But yeah, good for Bodo Glimt. Really good story. They're actually the first Norwegian club to advance to
Yep.
the round of
Yeah.
16 since 1987.
Yeah.
Good for them.
You know
Gives
the
us
crazy thing about them too is they don't even play in a league. Their league has been done since November
oh
30th.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
They're not actively. Their league's been over. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
Which
Their
is
team,
crazy because they're not playing.
their form is outrageous. Like they've beaten Inter twice now. Before that, they beat Madrid. Before
They
that, it
beat
was Man
City.
City.
Yeah.
Before that, club friendlies. Drew with Dortmund. Their last loss wasn't, dating back to November 25th against Juve. Um,
It's a crazy form. Like you said, those last couple teams they beat is very impressive.
oh yeah, very good form. They've drawn to Tottenham, drawn to Slavia Prague. They lost a close one, 1-0 to Monaco. Hey, let's see what ends up happening. And they're a team that made it through the qualification rounds too. They had to beat Sturm
Yep.
to get through. So good story with Bodo Glimt. Moving forward, not a lot of shock here that these fellas advance. Newcastle 3, Karabag 2. Newcastle sealing the deal at home. They're going to advance 9-3 on aggregate. We had goals in the fourth minute by Tonali, a goal in the
Mm,
sixth minute by Joe Linton. It was bang bang right away, and then
mm,
that pretty much that ended it. Karabag scored in the 51st. As soon as they scored, legitimately as soon as they scored from a free kick, Botman headed one in, made it
mm.
3-1, and then there was a goal in the 57th
Yeah.
by
Good luck
Karabag.
pronouncing that one.
I am not good at pronouncing that name.
Just
There's
say
a
Elvin.
j. So
Just say
yeah, I
Elvin.
mean, it was a great save, and then so Marko Jankovic had his
Yep.
penalty saved, and then good old Alvin hopped in there and finished it off. So that's what made it 3-2. But yeah, I mean, a match again. I don't think we have to spend too much time on. Newcastle won it all in the first leg.
Yep.
Second leg was just playing the match to play the match. And Newcastle, they had more expected goals, more shots on target, much more ball possession. I mean, they did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Good for Karabakh fighting in the second leg, at least making it close. Because after the first two goals that Newcastle scored again, I was like, oh, this is deja vu from the last leg. I was like, oh,
Right.
they're gonna score another five. Aggregate's gonna end up 10-0, and it's just gonna be an embarrassment. But like you
I'm actually
said,
surprised at the strength of the lineup that Eddie Howe put up there. It
yeah,
was a rather strong lineup for a match that was kind of in the bag. You had Joe Linton, Tonali, Voltemade all played in the middle. Uh, Byrne played in the back. Trippier played outright. Barnes and Murphy played. Barnes played the whole match. Murphy played 87 minutes.
maybe they just
Interesting.
want to keep a good little form going or something like that. Maybe build confidence going into the weekend.
Yeah, yeah, we'll have to see. So yes, Newcastle moving along. Then we get to our Wednesday matches. Started with this was a banger. Atalanta 4, Dortmund 1. Dortmund was up 3-0 after the first leg. Atalanta comes, or no, I'm sorry, 2-0 after the first leg. Atalanta comes storming back. They scored three unanswered goals in the fifth minute by Scamacca, 45th minute by Zappacosta, 55th, 56th, 7th minute by Pasalic. Adeyemi scored for Dortmund in the 75th. We were at 3-3. This match was going to overtime. It was going an extra 30 minutes until we get a bunch of yellow cards. We get a bunch of rough and tough play. Guys are getting sent off left and right. And Lazar Samardzic finishes off the penalty in the eighth extra minute of the 90. Although there was only 3 minutes of added time. So go figure. But I mean, wow, what a match at home at Atalanta. Just Incredible match to watch. I did watch a lot of this one. It was a great 12:45 match, EST kickoff. Jay, what did you think?
Yeah, I think this game was just madness. This had everything you wanted as a as a football fan. You wanted goals, you got goals. You wanted drama, you got drama. You wanted VAR to get involved, you got VAR. You had cards going everywhere. Uh, gotta feel bad for Dortmund at one point, but at the other side, you have to preach what Atlanta did. I would love to hear your opinion on this penalty kick, Ian, because I am on the side of not giving that than giving it. I don't know if you got to, did you get to see it or no?
Yes, I did not.
So I did not. So
I did not.
my issue with it is actually, let me actually see real quick if I can.
I know it's been rather controversial. You
Uh,
tell me your thoughts. I'll grab a quick gander.
okay, I was gonna try to share my screen and pull it up on YouTube, but I don't think you got that. Uh, so basically what happened is ball got played out wide. Again, we're in the freaking 97th minute, 98th minute, or whatever it is. To be honest, it actually may have been in the 90th, may have been in the 93rd, and then the time just kept going on because of all the drama that was happening on. But ball got crossed out wide. Defender got turned around a little bit, and he kind of tried to do like a scorpion kick behind him. And as he went to kick it,
Oh, it kicks him right in the head.
the attackers the
I see.
attacker, Atlanta's attacker, comes out and looks like he's trying to head the ball. Like he puts his head down to head the ball, and the Dortmund defender gets a piece of him. He does start bleeding out of his head, it's gushing blood.
See, I
But
don't think it.
my opinion is like defender should never be in that situation where he has to turn his body like that and throw a kick. But at the same time, if he doesn't do anything, it's a free, it's going to be a free header. And it's also his head isn't standing up. His head's going down to his leg. It's like one of those, I don't know. It's so for me, it's so hard to call that in the 98th minute of a Champions League game to go into the round of
Well, you have to
16.
keep it consistent. I think that's the thing. It's tough, but I do think that because he got the ball first,
I know.
it makes it tough for me. It makes it tough for me to agree with the red card there because he got ball first. You got ball first, and then the guy's head was there. Like you have
Yeah.
to give if an offensive player needs to be able to finish their kick, right? Like
Yeah.
they can't kick and have her. And that's a penalty. So a defensive player, why can they not finish their
Yeah.
clearance
It's
attempt?
got to go both ways.
Right, right. So there needs to be some consistency there. I guess that's how I see it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
It's
really
definitely a
tough.
tough one. It's a tough
I think
decision.
because the defender touches it first, I think it shouldn't have been a red card. But anytime somebody gets kicked in the head, especially these days, it's really, really hard
Yeah.
to for them to not call that.
Yeah. Definitely some controversy and followers out there would love to hear your opinion on this one as well to see if
Yeah, oh, yeah. Chime in,
we're
followers. I would
we're
love to hear the thoughts on that.
we either don't know what the hell we're talking about or you're somewhere on the same somewhere on the same side as us. But
Yeah.
definitely to start off the Wednesday Champions League game and we had another banger at the end of Wednesday. This was a great way to start the day of Champions League with this one.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. This was another good one. We had Juve at home against Galatasaray. Juve 3, Galatasaray 2, but Juve will not advance. They lost on aggregate 5-7. This was a great match.
Yes.
Locatelli scored the penalty early for Juve, puts them up 1-0.
Uh-huh.
Gatti scores, makes it 2-0. Juve scores again with McKennie, makes it 3-0. Now, at this point, listeners, it is 5-5 on aggregate. Juve scored three unanswered goals. And
Playing a man
then,
down. Remember, they're
yeah,
playing a man down.
they go a man down in the 48th minute. Man down in the 48th minute, and they score two goals after that. And they actually had chances before full time was up. They had a clear miss by what was his name coming off the left wing? Um, I believe it was Adzik was coming off the wing. Weston McKennie just kind of played it to him and missed a wide open shot at net. But then Galatasaray in the 105th plus one, Osimhen scores, and the 109th Yilmaz scores to seal the deal, make it 5-7. on aggregate. Galatasaray advance. What honestly, just a wild match. For the goal scoring fans. Nine shots on target for Juve, eight for Galatasaray. Juve had a 5.2 expected goal percentage. Galatasaray had a 2.01, but that match could have gone either way. Bunch of cards, bunch of goals. I loved watching it. If you're a neutral, that's the kind of match you love to watch. Just a bunch of goals on both sides.
Yeah, again, kind of like the Atlanta and Dortmund game, you literally had everything in here, and you knew eventually Juventus scoring three goals while playing. Sorry, scoring two goals. The first goal was when it was even, but scoring two goals while there was a red card, and then I kind of had a feeling like once they got to extra time, like putting an extra 30 minutes on that clock, playing a man down, like I felt like eventually time was going to run out regarding like stamina and everything like that. And I think that did play a big factor in those extra 30 minutes. Uh, but yeah, crazy game. Uh, Gotta feel bad for Juventus a little bit, but obviously if they don't get this red card, who knows where this goes? Maybe Juventus does win this game. So
There
obviously
were
we're
heavy legs in
yeah,
extra time.
yeah. We're never gonna find out, but yeah, down goes Juventus, Galatasaray with probably I'd probably say the second biggest upset of the Champions League of this round. I'd say Bodo
Yeah.
Glimt was probably first and Galatasaray uh, was second, and down goes another Serie A team with only Atlanta left.
And this was really close, this next match to being the third upset. PSG 2 at home against Monaco. Monaco also scoring two, so there was a draw there. PSG advancing on the narrowest of margins, 5-4 on aggregate. Monaco had a set piece late in that match,
Yes, they did.
had a really good look at goal.
Woe
It
it
was
phase.
yeah, that was very close to being a match that went into the extra time. We had Marquinhos goal in the 60th minute. I'm sorry, first goal was scored by Monaco in the 45th, and Marquinhos scored in the 66th. Vardacelli
Six.
scored in the 66th minute as well, and then Teze scored in +1, 90 +1. Pretty good match. PSG dominated possession. I mean, really, they dominated the whole match, but Monaco just stayed in it, right?
Hmm.
Monaco did not die. They just kind of sat in a deeper block, absorbed a lot of PSG's attack, and then kind of try to work off the counter. Like, it was a match that it was a group. It was a matchup that PSG probably didn't think they were going to have to sweat as much against Monaco. But hey, props to Monaco. I always love seeing these teams that are kind of underdogs come out and perform against these bigger teams. Definitely shows that PSG, who I think all season haven't looked as good as they have last season. But I think this kind of shows that there are still some clinks in the armor. I don't think the offense is as finely tuned as it was. Dembele's still hurt. They're just not scoring, I think, at the pace they were last year. I don't think they look as good as they did last season.
No, yeah, I don't think they're the same PSG as they were last year when they competed and won all those trophies. But
Mm.
yeah, definitely other teams out there maybe looking at PSG and just may not be as scared as them as they were last year. Some teams may feel, okay, we want to play PSG.
Right.
Uh, but again, again, what changed this game? Another red card in the
Mhm.
60th minute by Monaco. Koulibaly.
Monaco?
What? Did I say Morocco?
No, you said Monaco. It's Monaco.
Sorry, my bad. I was looking at. But
Really
obviously,
saying it phonetically.
but obviously, uh, again, if we don't have a red card in the 60th minute, does that change things again? This game could have went either way, and I think this game definitely could have, just
Hmm.
because how close it was,
Oh yeah.
and obviously we had PSG score their only goal. I think it was right at the time of the red card. But again, uh, I didn't see this one being this close.
Mm.
Like you, I thought this was going to be not a blowout, but I thought an aggregate probably maybe like 5-2 or something like that. But
Right.
I don't know. We'll see how PSG moves on forward.
Yeah, they could be a next round matchup for Chelsea. We'll get into those matchups in a
Yeah.
second, but let's wrap with Real Madrid 2, Benfica 1. Real advances 3-1 on aggregate. We had goals by Silva. Ricardo Silva scored first for Benfica, which actually at the time even things on aggregate, and then Tchouaméni scored in the 16th minute to make it 1-1, 2-1 on aggregate, and then Vinny scored in the 80th minute. Good for Vinny. Really good story there. Honestly, not much to cover. Real Madrid has not looked great, especially without
No.
Mbappe in the lineup. They kind of look rather normal. They don't look like the Real Madrid of old without Mbappe in the lineup, to be frank. And the match proved it as well. It was pretty even in possession. Benfica actually had more XGs, total shots, favored Madrid by two, but shots on target were the same each way. Yeah. You know what? Madrid should have, again, if we're looking at the spend and the amount of money that they spend on their team and the players, it should have been a lot bigger margin, but Madrid makes it through.
Yeah, I think this game was more about the drama between everything
Yeah.
going on in Benfica and Real Madrid, and I'm not gonna get really into that.
Yeah.
That's a whole different topic, and just not gonna get into it. But like you said, again, another match that I didn't think was gonna be as close. I know Real Madrid has been very inconsistent, especially in La Liga lately, dropping points, winning some games, but I think Federico Valverde was very good for Real Madrid in this game. He contributed for both goals, and then
Mhm.
Courtois made some very big saves in the beginning of the game. He doesn't make those saves in the beginning of the game. This game, Benfica could have been up, but
Sure.
yeah, good game. Again, Real Madrid. I know we're gonna get into the next round, but a team right now I'm not super really surprisingly scared of.
No, nor am I. No, nor am I at all. And that definitely concludes. So that'll conclude the knockout matches. Anything that you want to cover on before we move to the round of 16 possibilities?
Yeah, just think through this week, Champions League. I think discipline was a big issue.
Hmm.
Uh, a lot of red cards, a lot of late penalties and refereeing decisions that are especially critical now that we're getting into that stage of Champions League. I think mental toughness was
Hmm.
something a lot of these teams had to plan out. Uh, Bodo Glimt is one of them. I would probably say as well, uh, Galatasaray. Some just had the mental toughness going down to the wire, had to stay strong, and then the
Hmm.
underdog impact. Like we said, Bodo Glimt, Galatasaray, showing that small clubs can still do it. It's not all about the money. You got heart out there. You have good team chemistry. You never know what's going to happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. What's next? What's next is the round of 16. The drawing is tomorrow, like we said. I believe it's 10 a.m. EST or maybe noon EST.
Yeah, I think
But
it's one of them.
that's a nice little Friday treat. But we're gonna go in order. I'm just gonna go through the top. I'm just gonna go through order what the matchups are and what we'll kind of talk about each, what
Yeah.
they could be. So the first, I guess, two you could say is Arsenal versus Atalanta or Bayern Leverkusen, and then it would be Bayern Munich playing the other Bayer Leverkusen or Atalanta. So pretty interesting matchups in the first round. I think whoever both of these teams play, it should be moving on to the next round. I don't see Atalanta or Leverkusen giving Arsenal too much of an issue. I think Arsenal is a very, very good team. They should have no issues getting to the next round. Bayern Munich against Atalanta, I do see Bayern Munich running away with that. Bayer Leverkusen maybe could give them a little bit of problems just because that is, within the Bundesliga type of action there. But otherwise, I think Arsenal and Bayern Munich get through rather easily. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think both teams just coming into a nightmare here.
Yeah,
You probably got the
yeah.
two
This is
favorites who are going to win the Champions League, and obviously Arsenal finished first out of everybody, and then you had Bayern right behind them. I think those are the two favorites. Out of those two teams, I think you probably have a better chance of, I don't know.
I don't think either of those teams have a
Yeah,
chance of
I'm
making it
trying to
there.
think if I had to pick one. I don't want to bring my Arsenal bias into this. I'd
I
probably
don't
s-
think ours.
yeah,
No.
I'd probably say Bayern because Bayern sometimes do fall a little bit in the Champions League. I know there's not much, and that's why I'm not trying to bring my Arsenal bias. But again, I think Atlanta and Bayer Leverkusen. I think you had a great run, had a great story. I think it ends in the round of 16.
I agree. I agree. No qualms with me there. Moving along, we had Liverpool versus Atletico Madrid or Galatasaray. And then we have Tottenham versus Atletico Madrid or Galatasaray. I'm saying it right here. Atletico Madrid and Galatasaray, no matter who they play, is it Liverpool or Tottenham, they will advance. Liverpool will not beat Atletico Madrid. Liverpool will not beat Galatasaray on aggregate. Tottenham Hotspur, it's a fucking joke that they are fourth in the Champions League and they're about to get relegated. They're going to get their asses whooped too. And that's what I got to say about it.
Wow.
That's what I got to say about it, man. Atletico Madrid will shit pump either Liverpool or Tottenham. And this is maybe be a little bit of my bias against Liverpool and Tottenham, but neither of those teams look good at all. Like Liverpool looks like crap. They've looked like crap all season. They have not looked good. They're not looking good in the Premier League. Tottenham, I mean, they're about to get relegated, right? They're sitting in, well,
Yeah,
not
we went
about to
over
get, but
this
they're
last
sitting in
episode. Yeah.
16th. They're sitting in 16th. Now, Atletico Madrid, they have a team that can score, and at home, they are going to be very difficult for either of those sides to beat. And Galatasaray has already proven that they're a difficult side to beat at home, and they've already beaten Liverpool. They've already beaten Liverpool in the group stage, right? So Galatasaray, I'll back to beat either of those teams. That Turkish environment is very difficult for a team to win in. They are used to a difficult environment. Like a Liverpool environment would not scare Galatasaray players. They won't, right? So I don't think the environments have anything to play, and I think the environments are not going to play a role in the Galatasaray maybe being afraid of Liverpool or the Premier League teams. I don't know, man. I see Galatasaray beating both of them. They already beat
So
Liverpool.
I know I see it one way. I think Tottenham's gone no matter what. I
Yeah,
don't th
that I think is
that
inarguable.
that one's we're not going to argue. I think Tottenham again. I think the run in the Champions League, and I know we went over it when we were talking previously. They had one of the easiest runs
Right.
in the Champions League,
Oh yeah,
playing
for
easier
sure.
teams. They didn't really play any of those big dogs. I think they played one like big dog, but I think against Galatasaray, I think they would have a better chance against Galatasaray than Atletico Madrid.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
uh,
I agree.
but I don't think they're going to win either. I think it could be a little closer than we're expecting, but I do think Tottenham will lose to either. Now, this is where I disagree with you. I think Atletico Madrid and Liverpool is a worse matchup for Liverpool. I think Galatasaray and Liverpool is a better matchup for Liverpool.
I could see Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, look, I could see Liverpool. Let me put it this way. Liverpool spent £1 billion fucking pounds to win. So could I see them winning? Yeah, they spent £1 billion,
Yeah.
but I can also see Galatasaray winning, and I'm going to pull for them and fuck it. I think
Yeah.
that would be. I think there's something in the air. I think Osimhen's got a little something to prove. I think he does. I think he
No,
wants that big contract from a top European club, and I think he feels a little bit like, why isn't that here for me yet?
no, yeah. I
I
just
feel like there
think
is some there.
Yeah, I just Atletico Madrid to me is just so inconsistent of a team. Like depending on how they play, most likely they're going to sit back and defend Simeone style. But against like I feel like a Liverpool team,
Well, see, here's my thing though. Liverpool's inconsistent too.
yes, I agree. But I think if like playing at Liverpool, I know they suck this year. They're not the same. Playing at their place isn't easy.
Right, but I guess what I'm trying to say is Galatasaray and Madrid, they'll be used to that type of atmosphere. Like that's not going to, I don't think it's gonna,
I I think Galatasaray is Atletico Madrid. I don't think so.
well, I mean, they're used to playing at the Bernabeu. They're used to playing
Yeah, it's
at,
still.
I
Galatasaray, I completely understand because, like you said, playing in that
they like
Turkish
light
league,
things
yes,
on fire in
yes,
the match.
it's a nightmare there. It's crazy. You feel like the place is gonna burn down. We actually would love to go to a
Well,
game
did
there,
you
by the
see
way.
Fenerbahce was playing Nottingham Forest today? And they threw something like on the pitch, like on fire, like a minute in,
Love it.
just like right behind the net. Like, yeah, it was
Flare,
great.
just
And then
throwing
one of the
flares
players,
at each other.
yeah, and then one of the players from Fenerbahce had to be like, no, no, like this isn't cool here. Like they don't like that. Like stop doing that.
No, yeah. Again, I see both ways. I do think this is a good matchup. Like these will be
Mm,
good games to watch here. Like I
for
don't
sure.
I don't see any of these being like a massive like snooze fest or a blowout. Like I
Hmm.
see these they do aggregate round of 16, right? Still two
Yeah.
legs. Yeah.
Yep.
I still see this aggregate coming down to that last game, and it could be a big thing of who has that home field home advantage, and I think it'd be Liverpool and Tottenham because they're the teams that are listed as of right now. So I think they get the second leg because they had the better record because they got the bye, so they didn't have to play in the round of 32.
I think it just pops out of the balls and then they choose
Oh,
from
is
there.
it? Is that how they do it with the home and away?
I believe so. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Um, all right. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one to watch. The next two that we have here. Barcelona versus Newcastle or PSG. Chelsea versus PSG or Newcastle. So I think if it's Newcastle, Barca, I think if Barcelona plays either Chelsea or Newcastle, oh man. Actually, you know
Who do
what?
you
Just fuck.
who do you want? Okay, let's just talk about Chelsea right now because obviously we're both Chelsea supporters. Then that I think that will make this a little bit easier. Who would you rather play at this moment? Obviously, these games are being played.
PSG. I'd rather play PSG over
Do you rather
Newcastle.
play PSG than
I
Newcastle?
don't want to have because the problem is I don't want to have to play Newcastle over and over and over again. I think Chelsea against PSG is a better draw for us because I think we're a better tournament team and they would know less about us than Newcastle.
Okay, that's fair. I'm
Barcelona, I think loses. I think I favor Newcastle against Barcelona because of what happened the first time they've played. And oh no, I don't know actually.
yeah, I'm very indecisive right now because the way Chelsea's playing right now, it doesn't matter which one we're gonna play. We'd probably lose to both of them
Mhm.
at the moment. But I see like you said, PSG doesn't know much about us. But then there's always like that mentality of we beat the shit out of PSG in the Club World Cup, and PSG is definitely gonna want revenge.
Right.
But then the
I
same,
don't think I agree though. I don't think with where we're at, I don't think I mean, I think Newcastle we have a better shot to beat, I guess. I don't even
but at
know,
the
man.
same time, we played Newcastle already this year in the Premier League.
There's a chance we play them 5 times next month.
Yeah, we'd have to play them twice, and then I know they're coming up in the league. It's just like you said, it's hard to beat someone in the Premier League multiple times, especially in a span of like two or two or three two.
It's 5 out of 6 matches. So there's a span in
Where
March
else are we? What else are we playing them in?
in the league, and then there's a chance that we face them in the other cup.
Oh
In the
Jesus!
yeah, so I mean
Yeah,
that has to be drawn. So there's a chance that 5 of 6 matches in March and April, which is why I don't want to play Newcastle because you look at the odds that way, then you're like, ooh, we ain't beating them
yeah.
5 times.
No, absolutely not.
Like that's not gonna happen. I don't think we even go 4-1-0. Like we probably, I mean, best case scenario there you split. And then if we're looking at a
Yeah.
split in the champion, well, then what matches are we splitting? So I
It,
don't like it. I'm very concerned. I think, honestly, I can't make a call on any of these matches. I think they're just going to be great matches. I think if you have Barcelona, you have all their attacking options up front, a lot of attacking threats against PSG makes that's just a really cool matchup to watch. Like two good sides, historically good sides going against each other. Then if Barcelona plays Newcastle, you got, they have Magpie. It's really tough to play in Newcastle for Barcelona. They've shown it before. And then if you got Chelsea, it's always again you have the storyline of what happened over the summer at the Club World Cup against PSG, or you have the storyline of Prem team versus Prem team, and yeah, who's going to come away with it? That's always the scary one is Prem versus Prem. That's very scary because
scary.
you
Yeah.
cannot call those matchups. Too
No.
much
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. I
So they're
like.
all really interesting to watch.
Yeah. That's why I think both of those legs will be really good.
Yeah.
Still chasing my head around which one I'd rather have, and I think it's decision's not going to be made until the draw tomorrow. The draw
Yeah.
tomorrow. Obviously, if it's a PSG, hopefully we still get like a little banged up PSG because they've been
Hmm. Yeah.
unhealthy all season.
If we get a
But
healthy PSG, we might be in some trouble.
yeah, but it's also a concern to me. Hey, we played Barca this year and we kicked their ass 3-0.
Well, we won't play Barca.
Sorry, my bad. Uh, I don't know what I'm talking there.
No, no, I know what
But
you're
then
saying
like
though.
I get the Newcastle point, but then Newcastle I feel like is so like ugh.
It's hard to say, right?
I don't
Because
know.
PSG, like they play in a they play in a very weak league.
Yeah,
So
it's
who knows
true.
even if they're that strong, right? They're in first place there, but like, yeah, of course they're in first place there. They should be. Like they
I don't
just
know.
barely kind of scaped by Monaco. Or maybe they're not that strong this year anymore.
Well, guess what? You got to beat the best to go all the way. So
We gotta win if we want to go all the way, but we'll
it's,
see. These last two are very fun to me as well. So we got Sporting Lisbon and Man City were the ones that made it through in seventh and eighth, and they could either take on Real Madrid or Bodo Glimt. Sporting Lisbon, if they go against, you know, it's interesting with Sporting Lisbon. It's very interesting that they still finished in seventh although they didn't have their main striker. I mean, they obviously made a lot of money off those deals and signed players. Give me Bodo Glimt over Sporting Lisbon. I think Bodo Glimt is hot, right? I think they're hot. I think if they come against Sporting Lisbon, that's a team that they can handle. I think we can. I think I can't see you because I'm looking at something else, but are you nodding in agreement? I think Bodo Glimt could handle Sporting Lisbon.
yeah, I think so. And I don't know much about Sporting. I know when we talked about like them finishing the top seven was actually kind of crazy to me.
Yeah.
But I think
Uh,
I think having them play each other's good match. I mean, I think just two heavy dogs, Real Madrid and Man City, going at it. It's like you get one of those. You probably get one of the other favorites.
City makes it through, I think, in my
Oh
opinion,
yeah,
against
I
either.
I do too. I
It's
I agree.
it's it's Pep time. I think it's Pep time, and Pep is notorious for once the new year hits to really catch his groove with his team. And Man City year after year, if you start looking at some of they get hot. They get
Oh yeah,
hot late. If you look at the way some of they won some of their Premier League runs, they were like at 17 matches, winning 16 of them. Right? I
yeah.
think they're in that form right now where they're hot, they're healthy. I think City's going to give a run for either of those teams. I don't, even if Mbappe's back. I think Real Madrid has looked weak.
I
However, I
do
think
too.
if Madrid comes up against Lisbon, I think Madrid win that. I
Yeah,
do. Especially if Mbappe comes back. We could talk about it in that tense as well. Like if he does come against, yeah, I think they should take care of them.
yeah. I think I agree with you with all kind of like everything here. I think Bodo and Glimt would beat Sporting. I think
Mm.
Man City and Real Madrid would be, like I said, a great heavyweight
Yeah,
battle between them. And obviously, you're gonna get one of the heavy
that'd be
ones.
early for those two to play each other too.
Yeah, and you get one of the big dogs out. I still do think like Man City would
You know what's crazy? If you look at some of those
beat
other
them.
Madrid teams that probably spent less money, they're so much better than this current Madrid team.
Oh yeah.
This
Oh
current
yeah.
Madrid team is so top heavy and they pay really like they pay like Vinny and Mbappe and like the rest of it's like okay. It's not great.
I don't like Vinny.
No, but I'm saying they just pay them like
Oh
they're
yeah.
top heavy, whereas like all their money is going to two
The
players.
players, yeah.
Like they used to be so much deeper, like when they had Benzema and they had everybody playing around
Yeah.
him and Ronaldo and around him. And some of those early, oh my gosh. I mean, some of those teams that used to go up in like the early 2000s were incredible.
Yeah. They're
It was
like a
like,
younger team too. Like I can tell you I don't know probably
I mean, they got Arda
their
Güler.
back line. Like I don't like I'm not a big La Liga. I don't watch it. So
You
like
got
those back
Rudiger
four,
still there.
besides Rudiger, I probably couldn't tell
We
you.
got Rudiger. You got Dean Housen.
See, I didn't even know he played there.
Dean Housen?
Yeah,
They spent a shit ton of money on him.
I don't follow La Liga.
Or at least he comes from the Prem. So yesterday,
That's
what they
true.
had as their starting for Trent. So
Ah, I forgot Trent.
do
Yeah.
you notice that how they say his name now in Fat Mob? It's just Trent. It's not
I
Alexander Arnold anymore.
wonder why.
Fucker. Um, Raul Asensio. I don't know who that is. Rudiger and Alvarado Alvarado Carreras. And then if you look at their bench defensively, Alaba was on the bench defensive wise. You had Francisco Garcia on the bench, Danny Carvajal on the bench, who's 34, Furland Mendy, who's 30 on the bench. I mean, they're aging out at defense. Hoysen was hurt. Militao is hurt. Caballo is hurt. Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. They didn't look great. Bellingham was also hurt though. But again, I don't think they look great. I don't
No,
think they look
not
great.
at all. Like I said, they've been very inconsistent lately in the La Liga.
Yep, I agree. Well, Justin, that is it. That brings us to the end of another Beyond the Ball podcast episode. Anything you want to leave our listeners with?
No, yeah, I think the next episode we'll definitely be talking about is definitely the Champions League draw.
Right.
The matchups coming up in the Champions League, and then we'll obviously probably talk about some stuff that happened over the weekend. But
Hmm.
uh thank you guys for listening. 2 episodes in a week. We are back. Hopefully
Boys are
we are
back.
hopefully we are back and we're not lying to you like we've been doing for the last month and a half. But
No, we're back. We're back. We'll hit it again on Tuesday with or without Santi, and then hopefully we'll be able to grab Santiago for a late night episode recording on Thursday. But
yeah.
listeners, thank you as always for tuning in. If you haven't already, follow us on Instagram at beyond_a_ball_. Leave us a note there if you want to hear something on the pod, or hey, drop us a note here on Spotify. Leave us a comment if you want to hear something on the next episode. But as always, take care. And until next time.